Hello and welcome to this third-person controller tutorial. Today we are just having our first lecture and we want to introduce you to how to use our assets. So I got a new project that opened here inside of Unity and right now I'm going to show you step by step how to set up our assets and how to change animation. So this is the first lecture of setting up our assets. So go to Window and search for Package Manager and search for Cinemachine and click on Install. So I've already installed it, so I want to remove it to install it one more time. So I'm gonna install Cinemachine right now. I got Cinemachine 2.10.1. Okay, so I got Cinemachine right now. It's in my scene, in my project here. And second thing, you want to head to Udemy. On your course you can find section 3 get our assets and how to use it. So we got in our assets here the resources folder. Click on it and click on the assets and it's gonna be downloaded. So I have already done this. Let's go right now to assets, import package, custom package, and where you have download this assets, in my case it's on my desktop screen. I'm gonna just click open to this file that I have been downloaded, and I'm gonna click on import. Wait for Unity to compile with the assets, and as you can see we have a Lion Studio here icon has been pumped up in the Unity windows. Okay, so go to third person controller. You can find it under the project assets and third person controller. Go to the input and tag manager or physics manager and click on it in order to compile our input system into your Unity. As you can see, I've done this before, so I don't have anything to import, but in your case you're gonna have the input manager and the tag manager. So right now, how do we create a character with Lion Studio assets? So this is actually really very simple. You have to get a 3 humanoid character. Okay, so for my example I have two characters that I want to use. One of them is from Miximo site, which is this Lola, and the second one is going to be the bodyguard from Unity Asset Store, which is a humanoid character and can be used to create games. So let's start with the Unity Asset Store humanoid character, which is the bodyguard. Okay, so I'm going to unpack the prefab first of all, and then going to Lion Studio, set up Lion window, and I'm gonna put my character into your model character layer animator. I'm gonna choose the TPS, and here you can choose which component you want to add to the player. You want it to be a combat, shooter, or climbing, or vault and climbing. In order in this course I'm gonna check all this button. So I want it to have a combat controller and a shooter controller and a climb controller, vault and climb controller. Okay, so I'm gonna click on the setup button. Right now, as you can see, all the components necessary being added automatically to the player, and this is actually really very cool, huh? So if I click the play button right now, as you can see, this is my character, and it can walk, it can run, it can roll, it can jump, it can crouch, and can perform melee attacks. So our character right now is alive and have a very small inventory. For example, if I want to add some weapon, we're gonna have other lecture where you are customizing your own weapon, of course. But in this particular uh, lecture or the first lecture, I'm gonna use the rifle that I do have. So first of all, let's drag and drop the rifle item into the scene. But of course, you are going to have your own model weapon, okay? So as you can see, as I'm getting close to this rifle, here it says press E to pick up the Russian rifle. Let's pick up the rifle. Right now the rifle is in my inventory, and here you can write whatever that you want, the name of the rifle and the information of the rifle. So I'm gonna click on the equip button, and right now if I back to the scene, I can see the rifle is in the hand of the player, but it's not set up all right. So let's set up the rifle to compile with the hand of our character. In each character there is a lot of different rig, okay? So this rig will change actually the position of the rifle. So let's delete our rifle and search for weapon holder right now. So we want to actually reposition the rifle to be good in the player hands. So I'm gonna drag and drop the rifle prefab right now into the weapon holder. As you can see, this is how the rifle was sitting over there. So let's reset the position and the rotation of the rifle and start to rotate it until it's fit with the hands of the player. So just rotate and reposition the rifle. Okay, so uh, after we have repositioned the rifle into the player hand and we see it from all view is good, let's click that play button right now and try without the inventory. So as you can see, the rifle is sitting up correctly in the player hand. So this is actually really very cool, huh? So in order, you can use it as a rifle without an inventory, or you can just copy this component which you have here in the rifle, which is on the prefab, and go to the rifle prefab and paste this information. You only have to do this once for one weapon, and then if right now I've dragged the item rifle, so rifle item, and if I drag it one more time into the scene, right now I want to choose the rifle and I want to equip it. As you can see, it's aligned very well in the player hands and it can be used, and the character can reload, can roll to dodge the things that it's coming. And in the future we will have crouch firing, okay, or crouch aiming, and we will have the jumping on the same character. So as you can see, the assets is coming with a lots of features. So right now let's try for Lolia. So I'm gonna remove my character from here and the TPS, and I'm gonna unpack Loria prefab. I'm going to Lion Studio, set a player window, and I'm gonna do the same process that I have done before. Gonna click on this up button and hit play. Right now Lolia is actually moving, so as you can see, and can jump, can roll, can crouch. So the same thing, we can create any 3D humanoid character very fast using our assets. Can pick up the rifle, but if I equip the rifle, you can see that the rifle is not set up all right. So for each character, as I told you before, there's a special rig, okay, humanoid rig. So in order to do this, we have to do it very fast by just reposition the weapon prefab. So let's go to rifle here, or your rifle prefab, and just put it on the player one more time. Then I'm gonna turn off the gaze modes and go to this rifle and just reposition this rifle again into the player hands. So this is not, you can use your own character, you can create multiple weapons if you have three character, that each character will fit with the weapon, okay? So as you can see, the weapon right now is assigned very well into the player hands. So if I hit the play button, as you can see, Lolia is having the weapon. Of course, it's not good aligned here. Let me just check. So it's need to be something like this, and it's need to be something like that. Okay. So right now, if I hit play button, so the character is holding the weapon, of course, and can shoot, reload, and roll and run with the weapon. Okay. So this is it, guys, for this first lecture. In the second lecture, we are going to show you how to replace animations in the same time, how to create a parkour animation, and how to make parkour actions. Okay, so thank you again for watching, and see you guys later.